How's it going, everyone? Jerry here, and welcome to a video where I rate every single final evolution of the starters from Gen 1 to Gen 8. Now, this video is a video that I've had in mind of doing for quite some time, but I've actually never attempted until today. Now, before we begin, I do want to have a little proclaimer here and let you guys know that this is based off of my opinion. You guys are by no means forced to agree with everything that I have to say here. Now, if you guys want to criticize me, that's up to you. But again, if you guys have any disagreements, I would actually be interested in seeing where you guys would rate these Pokemon. So in the comments below, you guys are free to do so. Let me know where you would rate these Pokemon. So without any further ado, we're going to begin. But before we do, I would really appreciate it if you were to leave a like. And also, if you guys haven't yet subscribed, please, I would really appreciate it if you were to do that. Anyway, let's go ahead and start this tier list off with, of course, none other than our boy Venusaur. Now, I am a very, very big fan of Venusaur. I love the design. I love the type of grass and poison. I think it's a very, very cool type. I love the fact that you can use Venusaur in so many ways. You can use it as a tank. You can use it as an offense Pokemon. I also love the shiny. If you guys don't know what the shiny looks like, I'll provide an image here of shiny Venusaur. Everything about Venusaur I love. I also love the fact that they gave it a Mega Evolution. A very, very good Mega Evolution as well. Mega Venusaur, thick fat. Those awesome stats. I mean, you can't beat this thing. This thing is great. Thick fat, getting rid of two of Venusaur's most threatening weaknesses, which is fire and ice. I mean, this thing is just a beast. I love Venusaur. I love the design. It is a shame that Ash never really got Venusaur in the anime. I am going to include the anime, by the way, because I have some fond memories. But yeah, I mean, Venusaur is an awesome Pokemon. Again, so many things you can do with Venusaur. You can use it in so many ways. Competitively, it's a beast. I just have nothing but good things to say about Venusaur. So, honestly, Venusaur, you're going to go ahead and head over to A. Love Venusaur. Love Venusaur. I love Bulbasaur too. I love Ivysaur as well. Venusaur is just awesome. Alright, next up we have quite literally the most popular Pokemon aside from Pikachu. We have Charizard. Now Charizard, if we're talking competitively, is terrible. Terrible. I can't say any good things about Charizard. I know that you can use Charizard in a variety of ways. You can't use it as a tank like you can Venusaur, but you can use it offensively in many ways. Mixed attacker, special attacker, physical attacker, what have you. The one thing about Charizard that I don't like is that it doesn't have any coverage, I don't think. Aside from like Earthquake and Solar Beam and maybe Thunder Punch, you don't really have much to work with. Now, if we're talking about Mega Evolutions, I mean, Charizard is up there. It's easily A or S. Those Megas are absolutely broken. But Charizard, in and of itself, isn't that great. I know that people love Charizard. Has an awesome design. That much can't be denied. Charizard's design is very cool. I know a lot of people are disappointed in the fact that it looks like a dragon, but it's not a dragon. And I know that people love it because of the anime. Ash's Charizard was goated, obviously. And the TCG. Everyone loves Charizard in the TCG. Those cards are worth so much money. But personally, I don't really have an attachment to Charizard. Anytime that I play Gen 1, I go with Bulbasaur. If I don't go with Charmander, I go with Bulbasaur. I like Charizard. I'm a big fan. Not a bigger fan than I am of Venusaur. So I think for that reason and that reason alone, putting you in B. Alright. Next up, we have Blastoise. Alright. I like Blastoise, guys. Don't get me wrong. Blastoise is a cool Pokemon. Cool design. I like the fact that they gave it a very good Mega as well. Mega Launcher is just a perfect ability for Mega Blastoise. So much coverage too. This thing in competitive, not really the best alone, but when you take its mega into consideration, I would say that Blastoise is a very good Pokemon competitively. Not the best, but it is quite good. But we're not talking about the megas here. Now, I don't really have many memories with Blastoise. I don't use it a lot whenever I play through Gen 1. If I'm being honest, I go with these two as opposed to Blastoise. Now, I love Squirtle, and Wartortle is my favorite mid-evolution in the Gen 1 family. I love Wartortle. Blastoise, again, I don't really have many memories. My fondest memory of Blastoise, honestly, does come from the anime, where Gary uses it against Ash in the Silver Conference. I actually just rewatched that episode not too long ago, and I mean, my name on YouTube literally is a reference to Jerry Oak. But yeah, I mean, not really my favorite starter if I'm being honest with you guys. So I think Blastoise, I'm gonna put you in the C tier, if I'm being honest. All right, look at that, A, B, C. Okay. All right. Next up, we have Meganium. Oh boy. All right. Meganium. I am not a fan of Meganium. I love Chikorita. I love Bayleaf. I don't like Meganium at all. Meganium is just terrible competitively. I don't like the design. I have used Meganium, and Meganium actually was the very first Pokemon that I used in Gen 1 or Gen 2. Sorry, Gen 2. But I'm just not a big fan of Meganium. I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe if they were to give it a Mega and make it a Grass Fairy, Meganium would actually be kind of broken. I don't know exactly what moves it gets, because anytime that I do competitive Pokemon, Meganium isn't a Pokemon I consider using. So, to all you Meganium lovers, I am sorry, but I'm going to go ahead and put Meganium in the F tier. I'm sorry. Next up, we have my personal favorite, Typhlosion from Gen 2. Typhlosion is freaking goated, in my opinion. I love Typhlosion. Every time I go and play Gen 2, I pick Typhlosion. He is just that guy. He is that guy. Typhlosion has an amazing design, except I don't want to talk about Gen 6 and onward design for Typhlosion. I don't know why they decided to take the flames on its back away. It just looks so weird to me. But yeah, I mean, I have really good memories playing Gen 2 and picking Typhlosion. He was an absolute monster. You can use him in many ways. Special attacker, physical attacker, whatever, what have you. This thing is an absolute beast. Now, I will say this. I say he's a beast. I'm talking about in a normal playthrough. Competitively, he's not the greatest. I will say that Typhlosion, in my opinion, is better than Charizard. I will say that. Not by a lot, but he is better. He has Eruption, which was a move that was given to him, I believe, in Gen 5? I could be wrong. But, I mean, I have really good memories with Typhlosion. I also do enjoy the fact that Jimmy, the main character of Gen 2, was given his own little, like, side series in Pokemon Chronicles, and Typhlosion is his ace. That's pretty cool. Typhlosion, whenever I play through Gold and Silver, is my ace as well. I know he's not great competitively, but, I mean, he's better than Charizard, I will say that. But because of the memories that I have with Typhlosion, I'm putting him in A. Alright, Feraligatr. Feraligatr is a Pokemon that I avoided using when I was younger. Totodile is great. Croconaw, I don't like Croconaw. And I was honestly not the biggest fan of Feraligatr growing up. But when I got into competitive Pokemon, and when Feraligatr was given that awesome ability of, what is it, Sheer Force, I think it is? I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Sheer Force. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and look it up. Let me open up a new Chrome page here. Is it? Hang on, Feraligatr. I could be wrong, but I think it's Sheer Force, right? It is Sheer Force. When they gave Feraligatr Sheer Force in Gen 6, Feraligatr turned into an absolute beast. He was just so good. Plus he has Dragon Dance. I mean, come on now. What more can you want from Feraligatr? Oh, that's right. A Mega Evolution and another typing. I mean, the one sad thing about the starters of Gen 2 is that they're not given an additional type. Feraligatr can really be a better Pokemon if they were to give it like a dragon typing or a fighting type. A dark type would be cool. But no, he's just a plain water type. Now, he does get quite a few moves that help him with coverage. So he gets fighting moves, he gets Earthquake, he gets Crunch, stuff like that. And obviously some moves that he does get boosted by that Sheer Force. And you give this boy a Life Orb. Come on now. This thing is an absolute powerhouse. Not many different like things you can do with Feraligatr. He's not a special attacker. He's not really a tank either. He's just a powerhouse. This thing is really good. Competitively, I would say this thing is very, very good. It's a shame that you can't use him in Gen 8. But Feraligatr is a very good Pokemon. Competitively, I've had success with him before. I had him in the MPA. He was very useful in the MPA. I love me some Feraligatr. I don't like him as much as Venusaur and Typhlosion, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put Feraligatr in the B tier. Here is where the tiering gets a little wonky. You go down here, buddy. Alright, next up, we have Sceptile. Personally, I love Sceptile. Sceptile was the very first Pokemon, or Trico was the Pokemon that I selected when I first played Gen 3. And when I saw Grovyle and Sceptile, this thing became easily one of my favorite starters of any Pokemon game. And still is one of my favorites. It's a shame again that this thing is just a pure grass type. No additional typing was given to this thing. But Sceptile does have a little bit of coverage. Not exactly the best coverage in the world. I know that he gets some dragon moves and some other stuff that helps him with some other Pokemon. But yeah, this thing is great. I love the design. Everything about Sceptile just speaks volumes to me. It's Mega Evolution. Come on now. Mega Sceptile is so good. I just like this thing. You can use it as a physical attacker because it does get Swords Dance. You can use it as a special attacker. I'm going to go ahead and put this thing in the A tier. I do like Sceptile. Blaziken. Oh boy. Alright. Our very first S-tiered Pokemon. Blaziken. I have had nothing but success with Blaziken. I remember being young, and after I played through Gen 3 with Sceptile, I went ahead and played it with a Torchic this time. And Blaziken is an absolute beast. This thing is just so broken. From the anime to where Ash battled Harrison, and seeing this thing for the first time before the games even came out, I remember seeing Blaziken and I was like, what in the world is this chicken doing on my screen? And hearing like the move Blaze Kick for the first time, I was like, what am I seeing right now? Who is this Pokemon? I've never seen it before. To using it competitively, this thing is just so broken. And on top of that, they gave it a Mega Evolution. Like, come on now. You can use this thing as a mixed attacker. It's primarily a physical attacker, but I mean, this thing is just so good. So good. In terms of coverage, doesn't really get that much, but it's a fire and fighting type. Fire and fighting Pokemon, in my opinion, are some of the best Pokemon in the game. I know that you add on weaknesses, but still, this thing gets speed boost. You'd be lucky enough to knock out this thing before it knocks you out. This thing is so good competitively. Its design is amazing. Its shiny is great. Again, I'm talking about the anime, but seeing this thing for the first time before the games even came out, this thing is just goated. Goated. Blaziken, our first S-tier Pokemon. Next up, we have another Pokemon that I've had very much success competitive-wise. I don't really have many fond memories of it in the anime or in in playthroughs of Gen 3. But when it comes to competitive play, I've had a lot of success with Swampert. It's just overall a good Pokemon. You can use it offensively. It's mostly used defensively. It's an awesome Pokemon. Awesome design. I mean, do you like Swampert? I like Swampert. Not enough to put it in the S tier. Not enough to put it in the A tier. I think I would put it ahead of Charizard and ahead of Feraligatr. I would probably give it like a B+. I do like Swampert. Not much to say about it because I've only really used it competitively, but I do like Swampert quite a bit. Here we have another Pokemon that I like a lot. It's a shame that it's not good competitively, but I don't care, dude. Torterra, I'm putting an A. I love a Torterra. It's so good. The design, I mean, in a playthrough, Torterra is a freaking monster. Torterra is a freaking monster. I love Torterra. I love the design. I can't say enough good things about it. The only thing that is preventing Torterra from being S tier is the fact that it's not good competitively. I know that I'm talking a lot about competitive Pokemon, but that's what I know that's what I know a lot of. I know a lot of competitive Pokemon. Right now I'm out of touch with competitive just because Sword and Shield isn't the best era for competitive Pokemon, but Torterra is an absolute monster. I love the design. I love it in playthroughs. It's just overall a great Pokemon. Plus I love Turtwig. Turtwig's awesome. Next up, oh my god. You guys might hate me for this. We're going to put Infernape in the S tier. Infernape is an absolute beast, just like Blaziken. Infernape is goated. I have nothing but good things to say about Infernape. Great stats, awesome move pool. Its shiny leaves a little bit to be desired, but Infernape is just a freaking good Pokemon, man. Gets Mach Punch, gets Vacuum Wave, gets Swords Dance, gets Nasty Plot. You can use it as a mixed attacker. You can use it as a special attacker, physical attacker. You name it, bro. Anything Infernape you can use for. I mean, this thing is just an absolute beast. Nothing but good things to say about it. Oh, here we have Empoleon. Boom. I don't like Empoleon. Its design is dumb. I hate Piplup. I do not like Piplup. Yeah, I mean, competitively, Empoleon, I will say, is good. It's a tank. I've had some success with Empoleon. I don't really use it too much just because I can never form teams around Empoleon. But Empoleon, competitively, is decent. Personally, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't know why. I just try to avoid using it. So I'm going to go ahead and put Empoleon in the F tier. No other reasons than I just don't like it. I've used it in playthroughs before, and it's pretty good. But, I just don't like Empoleon. Sorry, guys. Next, we have Serperior. Guess where you're going. S tier. Serperior is just an amazing Pokemon. I remember getting into competitive Pokemon in Black and White 2. And I was just absolutely wrecked by Serperior over and over again. And then when they gave it Contrary, come on, man, that's not fair. Contrary? Are you serious? Serperior has brought me a lot of success in competitive Pokemon. It's my favorite in terms of Final Evolution wise, I should say. Final Evolution wise, it's my favorite out of the three. But yeah, I mean, I like Serperior. I like the design. It has a pretty good shiny too. In a playthrough, it's pretty good. Not the best, but it's pretty good. I would say that you're not Incineroar. What's your name? Tepig. What is your name? Emboar. I would say that Emboar is probably the best in a playthrough, but I do like Serperior a lot in competitive Pokemon. It's a really good Pokemon. It gets Glare. It gets Leaf Storm with Contrary, Dragon Pulse, Hidden Power. I mean, Hidden Power is not in the game anymore, but I just anytime I use Serperior, it does work. And I have fond memories of doing competitive Pokemon back in the Oros days and X and Y. And this thing was great. Next up, we have Emboar. gonna put it in D tier. I like Emboar. I don't like it as much as I do Blastoise. I definitely do like it more than these two. Emboar. I mean, Emboar is a decent Pokemon. It's not the best. I believe your hidden ability is Reckless. I haven't really used it much competitively because I don't think it's that great. But, I mean, it could be worse. Definitely could be worse. Oh, man. Here we go. I'm putting Samurott in the F tier. Now, I don't want to say what I think about this family because that's potentially going to spoil a future video. But from Oshawott to Dewott to Samurott. So disappointing, man. So disappointing. This thing had potential to be great. And it just is not. Unfortunately. It's not good. I wish you were a water and either fighting type, water and rock type, steel type. But no, you're just a pure water type. Your design is terrible. Man, I love Oshawott. I love Dewott. They're both great Pokemon. Samurott is just so disappointing. So disappointing. It's unfortunate. Really is. Next up, we have Chestnut. Now, I love Chespin. I don't like that mid-evolution. I forget the name. But Chestnut is awesome. I love Chestnut. I'm going to put Chestnut in the B tier. I've had some success with it competitively. I don't know much about it in the anime. I don't think it ever showed up in the anime. I love its shiny quite a bit. But just competitively, I mean, this thing is a tank. It never dies. Unless, you know, you're a flying type or a fire type. But if you know how to use Chestnut properly, this thing is just so good. So Chestnut, I'm going to go ahead and put you in the B tier. Delphox. Now this one may surprise you guys. I'm actually going to go ahead and put Delphox in the C tier. I am. A fire and psychic type? That is a type that I've wanted for the longest time. I wish Ninetales was a fire and psychic type, because it just makes sense. But Delphox, honestly, I don't hate as much as other people hate it. Its design, sure, is a little weird. How do you go from 4 legs to 2? I mean, it happens a lot in Pokemon. But this thing is awesome. I actually do like it a bit. It gets quite a bit of coverage. You know, you get dark moves, you get ghost moves, psychic, fire. I think you might even get like a couple of grass moves. I think Magical Leaf might be a move that you get, even though nobody uses it. But Delphox is a cool Pokemon. I understand why people dislike it, but I have no qualms with Delphox. I like Delphox. Haven't really used it much competitively. Haven't really used it in a playthrough. But when I have used it competitively, Delphox has proven to be quite a good Pokemon. So yeah, I'll go ahead and put you there. Next up, we have the GOAT, Greninja. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Greninja because of how popular it is. I don't care, bro. Greninja is going in the S tier. I remember seeing... I don't know if you guys remember the leaks before X and Y dropped. I remember seeing this guy here and thinking that it was fake. I was like, there's no way they designed a Pokemon to have a tongue scarf. Like, that's not a thing. And it ended up being a thing. Greninja is goated. Water Dark has amazing moves, amazing stats. Amazing stats. Do I even need to mention Ash Greninja? I mean, I remember when I first got into competitive in X and Y, and everyone and their mother was using Greninja, because that's how good it is. Also, do I even need to mention Protean? I mean, honestly, dude, boom. It's like S+ for me. Like, I love Greninja. I would honestly say Greninja is probably my favorite starter. I just love Greninja. It's so good. So good. Alright. Next up, we have Decidueye. Now, everyone loves Rowlet. and everyone loves Decidueye. It's not the best Pokemon competitively, but I don't care. I think Decidueye I'm going to put in A tier. Purely based off of its design, the fact that it's an archer, its shiny is great, and you can use this thing multiple ways. You can use it as a special attacker, you can use it as a physical attacker. The one thing about Decidueye, I mean, the one thing in general about Gen 7 is that many of the Pokemon in that game were very slow. Now, when you first look at Decidueye, you don't think about it being slow. But it is. It's a very slow Pokemon, just like most, if not all, the Pokemon of Gen 7. But I just like the design. I like... It's always so refreshing whenever there's a new generation and you try out these new Pokemon, because you don't exactly know what to expect. But I remember just using Decidueye competitively back when I used to Twitch, or back when I used to stream on Twitch, competitive Pokemon. And it was just so refreshing using new Pokemon, and Decidueye was one of those Pokemon that gave me that feeling of like, yeah, this is a new experience. I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and put Decidueye in the A tier. Next up, we have Incineroar. I'm gonna go ahead and put Incineroar. I think I'm gonna put Incineroar in the D tier. I don't have much experience with Incineroar. I know that in VGC it's used quite a bit, but I don't really know much about VGC. Its shiny is pretty cool. I've never really used it competitively. I mean, when it comes to fire Pokemon, I feel like there's better fire types out there. The typing of fire and dark is interesting. I don't like the design. When I first saw it, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be a fire and fighting type, and I was kind of scared. But thankfully, they made it fire and dark, which is something that we don't have aside from like Houndoom. Not the biggest Incineroar fan. Now, Litten and the evolution of Litten, Torracat, those are great Pokemon. Incineroar, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of. Next up, alright. Here we go, guys. I'm gonna put Primarina in the S tier. I am a very, very big fan of Primarina. Water and Fairy? Are you insane, dude? Water and Fairy make for, I think, the ultimate type combination. Water and Fairy is just so good. You know how much coverage you get with Water and Fairy? Holy crap, dude. This thing is just an absolute beast. Everything about Primarina, I love. Primarina, I remember not being super excited for it, but then when I started using it competitively, this thing was just... Anytime I would bring out Primarina, the battle would be over. Just because I know that I'm gassing up Primarina. It's not the best Pokemon, but I think that it's the best Pokemon just because Water is already a great type. But you put, I think, one of the best offensive types along with that water typing, this thing just changes the game. I love Primarina. I know a lot of people don't like it because it looks a little too feminine or whatever. The shiny of this thing, you know, I like the shiny. But people's problem is the fact that it looks feminine. I don't care. Primarina is an absolute tank. Underrated starter, in my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and put you there, Primarina. You have earned it. You've earned it. Rillaboom. Now, these three I don't have much experience with. I've only used these two Pokemon in a playthrough because I've only played through Sword and Shield twice. I used you in my first run and you in my second run. But I know that you are in the S tier. You are definitely goated. You, I'm going to put in the A tier. And you, I don't know you very much. I know that you have some sort of coverage. You're kind of like... This is Target right here. And you were like... Big Lots. So I'm going to put you in the D tier. I don't know much about you. I know that you're like a poor man's Greninja. Yeah, that's actually going to be it, guys. I don't have much experience with these Pokemon from Gen 8, and I do apologize for that. Holy crap, this video was 30 minutes long. But yeah, I know that I just rambled, and I don't know if you guys appreciate rambling videos, but I wanted to give you guys a tier list because I know these are what you guys have been asking for. You guys have been asking for like a top five, top 10 sort of thing. This was a top 5. So, let me know what you guys thought of my list. I know that I have a lot of S tiers, I have a lot of A tiers. The thing about starters is I don't dislike most of them. There are quite a few that I